Hey, Wiz Liz. So, this is my advice to you, girl. Forget all that manifesting bullshit and hex that motherfucker, okay? I'm gonna put a link in the description for this book. Go get this book and get your revenge. Like, come on, girl. Hex his ass. These evil, narcissistic men, they do not deserve peace, okay? Okay, that's all.
Babe,
Yeah, baby.
come.
What's up?
I want to film a TikTok.
Okay, what are we doing?
So, I have to introduce to you guys
you're already
my current husband. So we met
What did you-
in...
Wait, your current husband?
Yes. So,
Okay.
are you going to keep interrupting me?
Your current husband?
Yes.
No, baby. No, I'm your forever husband.
No, that's factual. You have to talk factual because they don't understand, you know?
So
You have to
fact.
say like currently, right now.
Got it. But you're currently and forever my wife.
Currently.
Because-
How I always tell you to be more in the present moment.
Mhm.
So currently, you should be grateful that you're my husband, you know? Current husband.
These videos make me cringe so bad. So as many of you already know, Wizard Liz is currently pregnant and she basically just found out that her fiance or boyfriend or husband, at this point, I'm not exactly sure. I think they had some kind of religious ceremony, but not a real marriage. Yeah, but she's single and pregnant. And a lot of women are collectively asking if this can happen to her, what is there for the rest of us, right? What is there for the rest of us? This video is going to be in two parts. I mean, not in two parts. It's going to be one video, but the first half of this video, I'm going to be talking about the situation, what happened, my thoughts, all the red flags that I saw. And then in the second half of the video, I'm going to do a spiritual breakdown because there's always a spiritual message in these situations, okay? These things are happening for a reason. So let's get into it. But before we do that, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that very much. A lot of y'all are watching, but you're not subscribing. So please subscribe today. I would hope that today would be the day that you subscribe. Like this video, of course. Share the video if you feel like it. And then, yeah, also today's Saturday, by the way. I'm not going to post this video today because I don't post videos on Saturdays. I really don't post on Saturdays. Saturday is a day of Saturn. I just don't like doing stuff like that on Saturdays. So I'm going to post this on Sunday, okay? Which is tomorrow. But on Sunday, we are going to be having our weekly scheduled book club meeting on my Patreon. We are currently reading The Art of War. It's a live reading. We get on the Zoom and we talk, we have a laugh. Like we have a really great cool chat and everything like that. And then of course you're getting so much value. So anyways, if you would like to join, hit the link in the description and sign up to my Patreon and sign up to the study group tier on my Patreon in order for you to have access to the book club. Now, let's get into the video, y'all. So Wizard Liz is a manifestation coach. And Landon, which is her soon-to-be baby daddy, so apparently she left him, but then again, this is very fresh. I do not know if she's going to get back with him because there is a possibility that she might get back with him. If she doesn't, then that is great because that means that, what I'm going to cover in the other half of the video, it means that she is learning her karmic lessons. All right. I did extensive research. Like I sat on my computer all day watching videos, doing research on these two. And I'm exhausted, okay? Because these type of stories are draining AF. They're very low vibrational, but we can alchemize these stories and turn it into a teaching moment, okay? There's always a lesson to be learned. So here are the red flags that really stood out to me. The first thing that stood out to me is the story of how they met. Everything about how they met in that story is a red flag because some people are saying that he was a stalker, and I'm leaning towards that as well because that's what is given. All I can say here is never date or marry a fan because this guy was definitely a fan before they met. And again, everything about the way they met, she was going to Santorini and he was apparently going to Mykonos and he left his bag over the other side of the airport, which doesn't make any sense. Apparently she was covered up and only her eyes were showing, but somehow he knew it was her. Like, please give me a break, y'all. Give me a break, okay? And then on top of that, This girl is definitely a lover girl because she has to be some kind of hopeless romantic because she thought that it was a magical moment. She thought that was a magical moment and she thought that she manifested this guy. Okay. You invited this guy on your girls trip, okay? Because the guy came up with a sad story talking about how all his friends ghosted him and blah, blah, blah. And one of his friends scammed him. Ladies, if a man that you don't know is coming to you with a sad story, okay? If you barely know this man, or maybe you just started dating this guy and he has a sad story, run. Because if a man is sharing a sad story with you, it means that he is fixing to manipulate you. It's manipulative. Men do not ask women for help. If you're somewhere and a man come up to you and ask you for help, call the cops. Men are not out here really, like most men are not going to be asking a woman for help. So if they are, they do not have good intentions. You have to be careful. Go the other way. All right. So he came up here with this sad story and then she was feeling sorry for him. Another red flag. Don't date men that you feel sorry for ever. Okay. And then what really pissed me off about all of this was the fact that she invited this guy on her girls' trip. Why would you do that? And then on top of that, he was awkward during the entire girls' trip. So this is the typical nerd, no social skills, covert narcissist. That's basically what he is. Let me tell you something. I travel a lot, okay? And one thing I take very seriously is my itinerary because I plan my own trips. I don't pay anyone to do it. I plan my own trips, and sometimes that takes weeks, even months, depending on the type of trip I'm going on. Okay, because I have to plan everything down to a T. Sometimes I'm traveling solo, even though I have a husband. I don't always travel with my husband. Sometimes I travel solo, or sometimes I travel with the girls. And I'm usually the planner. When I get there, best believe that we're going to do all them activities that I planned. I do not believe in going on vacation and meeting some random guy and disrupting your entire itinerary. And like, why would you do that? There are some people that think that they're going to meet the love of their life on a trip or something while on vacation. And that may be so. It does happen to some people like that. But that is never my intention and it should never be your intention. Meeting someone at the airport is fine. He should not have joined you on your trip. If his friends didn't pull through, what he needed to do was either go on the trip by himself or go the fuck home, go back home. What are you talking about? So yeah, that was, the red flag about how they met. And this guy was definitely a fan. Ladies, never date or marry a fan. If you don't believe me, ask Justin Bieber. How is that working out for him? Okay? He hates that bitch. And do not befriend your fan either. And I'm talking to the ladies that, if you are a content creator and you happen to be on this video, heed this warning very carefully, okay? If you aspire to be a content creator or aspire to be an influencer or whatnot, heed this warning very carefully because the bigger you get, the more wary you should be when it comes to your fans. So don't ever befriend your fan. They will destroy you. Ask Selena. Anyways, moving on to the next red flag, that Q&A video and the body language in that video, because I watched the body language experts. What's his channel? I watched his video. Okay, because when I was doing research, that video came up. Sometimes I don't watch other people's video, but I had to watch other people's video for this particular individual because I don't know these people. I really don't know them. I had to go do some research to find this person. And then I recognized her when I went on her YouTube channel because I remember I've seen a couple of videos from her back in the day because she's been doing this manifestation content for a long time. And she's still at it, which is crazy. And, obviously it's working for her. But, I have my opinions and my thoughts with the manifestation community because manifestation is a constant drift right now. It still is, but I digress, okay? I don't watch the whole Q&A video, okay? I don't watch the whole thing because I can't sit through that. This couple is so cringy. This guy makes me sick. The body language in that video left a lot to be desired. That man does not like her. He doesn't. And as a matter of fact, he probably wants to be her. He probably wants to be her. He probably wants to destiny swap with her, which is why he's out here humiliating her. A lot of people think that, he was being calculated and, he planned all of this. But let's be real. I don't believe, maybe he was calculated in the beginning and, the way he orchestrated the way they met. Because let me tell you something about narcissists, okay? Before you meet a narcissist, trust and believe that narcissist has done extensive background research on you. They have been watching you for a while. They have been watching you, observing you, especially if you are a public figure, if you're online, like you have a following or something. I promise you, they have been watching you for a very, very long time. So when they meet you, it's not an accident. You think it's an accident and you think it's romantic, but it's not. But anyways, I don't believe that he planned this, and I don't believe that he waited until she was 4 months pregnant to embarrass her like this. To me, it seemed like he did not expect to get caught, especially so soon. And hear me out. And this is the reason why, okay? Because I do not listen, I do not believe he was planning to get caught. I think this girl has her spirit guides looking out for her. And I'm going to talk about the spiritual aspect of this situation in the second half of this video. But narcissists, they need their primary supply. She is his primary supply. They're not going to jeopardize that unless they have a solid replacement. The girl that he reached out to rejected him because the girl happened to be a fan, a longtime fan of Wizard Liz. All right. So what is given is sloppiness. This guy is not as clever as he think he is. And, a lot of narcissists do overestimate their abilities because they are very much delusional like that. So that's why I believe that, it wasn't his plan to get caught. I don't think he was waiting until she was completely baby trapped. I don't think that was his plan. I really don't think so. Sorry. If you believe that, you can share your thoughts in the comments. But I personally believe that this is not what he planned. Because the way he's acting on social media, because I've seen some of the clips where, he posting videos and talking about he made a mistake and blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, he did not plan this. He was planning to get more supply simply because she's pregnant. When a woman becomes pregnant, okay, if you're dating a narcissist and you become pregnant, the reason why they suddenly become abusive and the reason why they suddenly change when you become pregnant is because now they have to compete with an unborn child for your attention, for supply. Now, another red flag that I picked up in that Q&A video, husband and wife Q&A, she talked about not being loved as a child. She mentioned something about, she was not hugged. No one told her that they love her. She didn't experience that when she was growing up. And y'all go and watch the video. I'll put a link in below in the comments somewhere where you can go watch that video of the guy analyzing the body language. This guy is sitting up there smirking and laughing at this girl. He does not give a shit about her trauma. All right. And this is one of the reasons why I always tell you ladies, never, ever, ever tell a man anything about your past trauma, especially if it's trauma surrounding or involving your father. If there's a father wound, they will poke that wound. They will keep poking that wound. They will not allow you to heal. Okay. However, she's no stranger to therapy. So it seems like she has been working on healing this part of her life. But I think the mistake that she made was telling this guy about her trauma. And again, the way the relationship started, it was just textbook love bombing, like he basically said in the first 72 hours they met, he told her that I love you. He sent 750 flowers. Like, who does that? Like, it was so many flowers. Did she have to get 5 guys to transport the flowers up into her apartment? So her apartment was probably covered in flowers. And, most women will think that that's romantic. It's not romantic. We have been taught to believe that this stuff is romantic and sweet or whatnot. And, these are the red flags that we have normalized. Why have we normalized these red flags? It's because of Hollywood. And most of these fairy tale stories, where the guy is a knight in shining armor and being the hero and whatnot, most of these stories were probably written by narcissistic men anyways. So, for a fact that the regular smuggler guy, a normal guy, is not sending you 750 flowers unless you ask for it. What the hell is wrong with just sending a nice little bouquet? That's more than enough. Another red flag is that she had lunch this man. All I can say, ladies, is if you are a public figure, never had lunch a man that is not your husband. As a matter of fact, keep that relationship private. And I know there are exceptions, like maybe perhaps he is also a public figure, but that man wasn't on her level, never was and never will be. And again, going back to that video, he was mirroring her and basically speaking her language, using words like energy and manifestation. And you're a tech bro. And the body language guy, he pointed that out. And that right there was a great observation from that guy. Okay, because let's be real, men in tech most likely are not out there using spiritual jargon. Okay. Men are not that layered, ladies. Okay. They are not that layered. They're not that interesting. You're the interesting one. Again, this entire relationship was textbook narcissistic abuse. If she had stayed with this guy, he would have made her life miserable. And I'm amazed that he kept that loved woman up for so long. And again, this is how you don't know these men, because there are women that were dating narcissistic men for a while, and then they get married, and then they are happy and everything is fine, and then boom, they get pregnant like 3 years later, and then all of a sudden he starts to show his ass. There's 750 flowers. That's insane. That is so over the top. Love bombing is always over the top. And my final thoughts, ladies, on this about this couple before I move on to, the spiritual aspect of this video, is that this man is not that handsome and not that successful for all this embarrassment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This guy, he's not all that. I was not impressed. He looks like a dog. He looks like a nerd. He's narcissistic. Every single video where I see them together, like he's fixing his hair, so he's very much aware of his appearance or whatnot. And I'm like, this man is not, that man was never worth her time and attention. But you know what? The damage is done, okay? It is what it is. All right. So if you listen this far, I'm going to give my spiritual analysis on the situation. And I'm going to be focusing on Liz, because I don't give a fuck about Landon or whatever the hell his name is, okay? So what's spiritually happening to Liz right now? Everybody's in shock because, this woman is beautiful. She's successful. She's inspiring. And she teaches millions of women how to manifest their dream life. And according to my research, ladies, she is the it girl of personal growth for years. Yet here she is, 4 months pregnant and alone and going through the worst betrayal ever. So what happening to Liz right now is what I would call a spiritual initiation. This girl is walking through fire and being reborn as something greater. I know that she is going to transmute all of this, alchemize all of this, and transform into a whole new person. And this might even shift her content. This might even take her to the next level spiritually. We don't know, but the way that she's handling this right now is telling me that this girl is on the road to a powerful life transformation, spiritually and energetically. Okay, so what is happening to Liz right now is a karmic clearing. This woman is breaking generational patterns. Okay, she's breaking the generational patterns. She talked about, her dad cheating on her mom. She talked about her home life. She talked about her father not being there for her. So she is breaking that generational soul level pattern of accepting less than she gives because her mother accepted less. So this betrayal, people think it's a humiliation ritual, whatever. I mean, and I'm gonna agree, I'll agree, but it's not a punishment. It's a test. Okay. And what is the test? Is she going to abandon herself to keep a family or her status? Is she going to go back to that guy? Or is she going to choose radical self-respect even while carrying a child, even at the risk of being a single mother? So when you all think being a single mother is the worst thing ever, sometimes that's the best decision a woman can do for her spiritual growth. So by leaving, what she's doing is ending a karmic cycle, not just for herself, but for her bloodline. Her baby is going to inherit that liberated energy. This is a spiritual initiation into her divine feminine authority. We all know her as, the manifestation coach. She's real love, she's beautiful, wise, gorgeous, everything that a woman would want to be, because a lot of women would want to be her. But now she's walking through the fires of transformation, embodiment, etc. By the way, this girl is very brave, okay? Like most women will not do what this woman did. So there is definitely a difference between teaching about empowerment and choosing it when it costs you everything you thought you wanted. This is costing her everything. So in order for her to move on to the next level, it has to cost her something. She's making the ultimate sacrifice because this betrayal in itself is activating her next level of purpose. Now her presence is going to have more depth. And let's discuss the pregnancy. I saw, the word abortion came up several times while I was doing this research. People were saying that, he did this on purpose because now it's too late to have an abortion, like blah, blah, blah. First of all, why do you all think that she was even going to consider that? Apparently, this girl is Muslim, and I do not know if abortion is something that is common in that religion. I mean, I don't know. I should have done my research before I talk about this, but this is why you all are here. So if you know more about, abortion and Islam or whatnot, let me know in the comments. But she doesn't strike me as the type of person that would consider it. You know what I mean? So this pregnancy is not a mistake. It's an anchor for her transformation. The womb is a portal. This is where creation, life, endings, and rebirths happen. And when pregnancy occurs alongside betrayal, it kind of signals, a rite of passage, death and illusion, rebirth into motherhood and sovereign womanhood, a confrontation with vulnerability, strength, rage, and transcendence. So a lot of people attach shame to single motherhood, and I need women to transmute that energy, that frequency of shame. I can probably do a video about this. And usually I would do a video like this on my Patreon, but I feel like maybe I can do it on YouTube because a lot of women need to understand the frequency of shame so that they can transmute it, because this is how the patriarchy is controlling us. They are controlling us through the frequency of shame and guilt. We have to release the shame, ladies. We have to heal from the shame. So the fact that men have successfully shamed women, associate single motherhood with shame, is crazy to me. You're a mother doing your job. You brought life into this world and people want you to be ashamed for it? I don't get it. And again, maybe I don't understand because I'm not a mother, but I'm just telling you all, I don't understand the shame that people like to attach when it comes to, to single mothers. I don't get it. So what she's doing right now is creating a new life while she's burning down a false life, because that life, that relationship and everything about that was fake. Okay, so this baby is not arriving in a quote unquote broken home or broken family. That's what most people are going to see it as. But how I see it is that this child is coming into this world into the care of a mother who refused to model self-betrayal. She refused to settle for less. She refused to put up in the bullshit. And again, this is going by if she decides to stay away from that guy. So if all of this is happening, to this woman, what does it mean for a regular woman on a spiritual level? To me, I know people like to think that, it's so hopeless or whatnot. But to me, it actually means there's hope for all of us. Because this woman is a mirror. She's not an exception. She's a mirror. She was never meant to be perfect. She was always meant to be a vessel. And this public heartbreak, it doesn't disprove her power. It confirms it. To me, what I'm seeing is that she is showing that, spiritual growth and betrayal can coexist. Because at the end of the day, there is no amount of beauty or success that can shield you from lessons your soul came here to learn. That's her soul journey. That's her soul lesson. There are many women that are happily married to men that are loyal, sweet, don't cheat. Yeah, I believe they exist, but that's their soul journey. That's what they came here for. So overall, the spiritual message here is that you can be powerful, you can be successful, you can be beautiful, but you can still get hurt. I mean, come on, Beyonce getting cheated on. What matters is how you rise above all of that. And I do have issues with the manifestation community, which I'm not going to get into. But all I can say about manifestation is that real manifestation isn't about attracting perfect people. It's about having the strength to walk away when they reveal themselves. Because she manifested that man. But then again, this is why you have to be super specific. When I manifested my husband, I wrote down everything that I wanted. Okay, I wanted someone that was reliable. I wanted someone that was consistent. I wanted someone that was loyal. All of that. When I met him, we didn't even start dating until a year later. Because I met him, I was in a relationship. I wasn't interested in him. I forgot about him. I left the country. Came back 6 months later, saw him again. I was like, oh, That was that guy that I met 6 months ago. Left the country again, came back, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to settle down, so, going about doing my everyday business. I used to pass by where he would work, and he would always look out to see me, okay? And hoping that he can run into me or whatnot. And, eventually he invited me out on a date, and the rest is history, okay? But we were friends first. We became friends when I came back, and like I wasn't interested in him like that because I was like so done with relationship because my ex just irritated the hell out of me. But that's a whole different conversation. But if you manifest someone and they're not what you thought you wanted, it is okay to leave them, throw them back, walk away. So to me, this is not the end of her story. Maybe for all we know, this is the beginning of her legend. Like she's maybe she's about to build like a whole new legacy or something. I think that I don't know, like I think that there's a lot that she has to achieve, and I believe that she's about to walk into something great. And again, I do not know this person, but based on what I've seen from my research, the videos that I watch, I even went on her YouTube channel. I mean, this is a person that had the ring, she had the love story, she has the lifestyle, and she decided to choose peace over pretense. So don't feel hopeless. I don't feel hopeless for her. I think she's going to be okay. Because if this can happen to her and she can still rise, then you can too. We are not powerless, ladies. And final thoughts. Was he trying to destiny swap with her? Destiny swapping. That's a new buzzword. But probably yes. Maybe yes. Maybe he is jealous of her. Maybe he is envious of her because you know what? Narcissism and envy goes hand in hand. These people, they can't help themselves. At the end of the day, we are dealing with a narcissist, a covert narcissist, because, he is giving off this, I'm a nice guy, he's giving off the nice guy vibes. Like I saw comments where people were saying that, oh, he's giving golden retriever energy. Like y'all be doing too much. Y'all need to stop idolizing men and relationships. We need to start taking romantic relationship and marriage off the pedestal. I swear to God, like if you are a woman and you still believe in love, girl, romantic love, something is wrong with you. You are not grounded in reality. But then again, some women have to experience karmic love, karmic relationships in order for them to grow. And I do not know what is going to happen after I make this video. Maybe she'll get back together with him. Maybe she'll stick to her guns and, leave him. But I think that, he really believed that, because she was so invested in the relationship and, he invested all this money, 100K ring, he thought that, she's going to stay, like, she's not going to just leave. I honestly believe that he didn't expect to get caught this quickly. Okay, because men that are cheaters, especially the men that love bomb you and spend a lot of money on you or whatnot, they think the woman is too in love or too invested to leave. They really think that they can manipulate their way out of cheating and for you to forgive them. And these men are going to underestimate a woman's self-respect, especially when she is pregnant and vulnerable. So the fact that she left him, like, yo, I am still, I wouldn't say in shock, but I'm impressed. Okay, because this man, he was calculated enough to cheat, but not sharp enough to cover his tracks. Really sloppy on Snapchat of all places, and then you message one of her fans. The disrespect. And you know what's even funny about all of this? He wasn't even successful in the cheating. He get caught attempting to cheat. The jokes write themselves. This shit is funny. And when men spend this kind of money, like, buying like 100K ring and stuff like that and selling you 750 flowers, you don't treat someone like that unless your goal is to bind them to you, hoping that they will tolerate the bullshit. They want to bind you. This is why a lot of men want to take away your independence. Some of these men will tell you, stop working, I'll take care of you. If a man is telling you that, just know that that man is fixing to abuse you and embarrass you. But anyways, you all, I think I've rambled enough. Thank you so much for listening.